accept. It's like, well, you have to also remember that some win losses do matter, and for Sami Zayn to consistently lose, that's going to hurt him. I mean, he's not Mikey Whipwreck. I'm sorry, but he's like 1,100 times millions better than Mikey Whipwreck. In all fairness, I mean, it was all freaking Generico. God damn it! But yeah, I just think that Sami Zayn just needs to pick up the victory here. Baron Corbin, he may get into a WWE title contention, but I mean, he could one win. That's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with Zayn on this one too. Again, this is also one though that I do agree that wins and losses do and should matter, and that if Zayn keeps racking up the losses, it will start to hurt him. But I also think that this is a match where if you could make it work, you could make him lose or have it go to a tie and it'd be fine. So this is one where I kind of feel it does come down to which show they're on, but it's not an insult like I would have meant a little bit of a dig at Raw with saying that Rowan would have won on Raw. With this one, I do think if they were on Raw, Corbin would be the one picking up the win on this one. And I don't mean that as an insult. I just think that's what they would go with. But being on SmackDown, I think they're going to recognize the win-loss record a little bit more, so I do think Zayn's going to pick up the victory.
Fair enough. The matchup in which we say
could be a
hashtag lose Ziggler lose. Shinsuke Nakamura makes his final epic SmackDown pay-per-view debut, we should say,
he's technically debuted on SmackDown already,
right?
Just not in the ring because reasons.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. I think we got the same prediction on here. 1, 2, 3. Nakamura.
Yeah. For crying out loud, even if I still liked Dolph Ziggler, I'd be saying Shinsuke Nakamura.
Because it's Shinsuke Nakamura. Enough said, and there's a reason why he was one of my draft picks. All right.
Waiting for that one.
All right, so the 6 women's tag team matchup, or what is it that they put it? It's like the 3 women versus 3 women and a dude match or whatever. I forgot how Adam and Plumpy put it. It was one of those things. It was just so well thought out. That being Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch taking on the Welcoming Committee. God, Vince McMahon, why do you hate everything that we love?
One of these teams has the current SmackDown Women's Champion, who has one of the best entrances in the company right now, who is a damn fine wrestler and has just got oodles of charisma. You've got a woman who was the queen of NXT and was basically the queen of Raw. You've got the Irish submission lass. And on the other end, you've got female Tyson Kidd, but not as good. Taller Enzo Amore. Tamina. And a 10-year-old who got kicked in the face. I'm going with Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky.
Right.
I mean, they're not going to let Ellsworth... I don't even know why Ellsworth is involved. It's not like he can interfere. I mean, this isn't like Lucha Underground or Ring of Honor where he'd be allowed to, say, slap one of them or something because he's the heel. This is very much going to be, I'm here to give Carmella emotional support. God, someone kick a chin onto him.
Well, with that, and again, there's nothing on the line for me. I will be the one that picks the Welcoming Committee, the worst goddamn name I have ever heard. I don't understand.
The Welcoming Committee, that's not a wrestling faction. That's like what your neighborhood watch does in some cheesy 80s sitcom to welcome the new family on the block. Fuck this match.
Yes.
All right, let's go for what I personally think is honest.
Well, before we get into, I know you're going to go into the happy place, but we still got one more dark place that we have to go to, and that being the Usos defending their tag team titles against Breezango in what was honestly one of the most interesting, I don't know if I would say upsets, but one of the most interesting turn of events. And I've enjoyed some of the fashion files that they've done, but I think the one where the Ascension was really, really weird, to say the least.
Yeah, it was like, like we're not trying to, say anything kind of, hinky or anything. It was just weird and straight up weird for its own. It was being bizarre and off for, like, its own sake rather than for a purpose. And it was just kind of off-putting to me.
This was just as weird as what was it? Was it like the UK crowd or something like that? There was remember the feud that John Cena and Kurt Angle had back in 2005, I want to say, where Cena was basically talking about, do you guys think that Kurt Angle sucks? He goes into the women's locker room. It's like, oh, happy-go-lucky moment. Candice Michelle topless. Oh, happy times. And then they go into, like, the weird deal where Snitsky's, like, massaging Tomko, and it's like, okay, that's creepy and weird. Yeah. And then he goes and sees the boogeyman, and it's just like, what the fuck just happened? And then he goes out into the crowd. It's like, at least there was some kind of weird, like, good transition there.
Yeah, this was like that without that transition.
Yeah, it just...
I don't know. With this one, I'll really admit, this is one I don't really have any negativity towards. It's more of just a match I kind of don't care about. That being said, I think Breezango could pull it off. I'm going to go with them.
You think Breezango? Okay.
Yeah, I legitimately think that they could pull this one out.
Or as we like to call him, Febreze. Ha.
But I do stand by what I said during our draft. I do think Tyler Breeze has been extremely underutilized. So
I still remember the video that we did when we were at the Monday Night Raw show, where where you and I were just acting like goofballs doing like the Tyler Breeze deal, where it's like oh, it's Tyler Breeze, oh my god, and then we just have like. And then there's like the transition to the Fandango deal. I just had that face of like, what the fuck? And you say, it's like, I hate the name, but the music is awesome. And I just do the head shake deal of like, no, dude, no. And that's where I stop it, because I remember you actually saying like, oh, come on, dude, give me some credit. I remember.
But now we can go to a happy place. The match that I think is going to tear the house down and possibly even steal the show.
Oh, by the way,
United States Championship match. Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles.
Yes, the house, the place is going to get burnt to the ground. Also, I picked the Usos to retain.
Oh, my apologies.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is too good of a matchup, because this could be one of the main events. It could be the main event for all we care.
Oh my god! Even if it's not, I really do feel this is going to be match of the night.
And there's an interview that AJ Styles did where he says that he wants to make the United States Championship as prestigious as the major titles. And honestly, for him to even compete in this matchup, it's already getting more prestige. It's about getting as much prestige as when John Cena was doing the U.S. Open Challenge.
And honestly, Kevin Owens has been doing great work. The whole Face of America thing has just been beautiful for heel work.
And of course, he's talking in French. It's like, God damn it, dude, shut up. You're not... you cocky Canadian, I love you.
I know, but it's just... Also, just part of it this is going to sound weird because it has nothing to do with his character or him being a heel. I love the fact that he has been doing that, just because it kind of reminds me of this interview I saw with him where he was talking about, he grew up in French-speaking Canada. He learned how to speak English from watching wrestling. So I just think that it's really cool that he's cutting promos in French as a heel. It's this nice multi-layered thing. It's one more thing to love about this. Everything about this is gold. Oh, God, I will freely admit I'm not picking what I think they're going to do. I'm going with what I want them to do, mostly because I want there to be a series of matches with these two. I think the Face of America retains his title.
I agree. And I think, like you said, there's going to be probably some build-up between the two of them. All honesty, their matchup on Monday Night Raw, I think it was like either a year ago or two. It was probably like a year or so ago.
Something like that.
That was just awesome. The matchup there was just awesome. And now we're getting this on a pay-per-view where a championship is on the line, which, that means their matchup is going to be even better. Oh, man. And again, I love quoting Deadpool when I say these kind of deals where it's just like, I feel like a little girl. I'm just so happy. It's just awesome. I'm so... Hey, for some reason, that's starting to get to be a little more acceptable than a guy just saying like, oh, I feel like a little boy again. It's like, okay, dude, just...
I think it's just because a lot of people are kind of like, girls are starting to like a lot more of the same stuff that guys do, and on top of that, it's kind of... when you think of like... I've noticed that people find it really kind of creepy when, like a woman says, oh, I'm like a little girl again, or when the guy says, I'm like a little boy again, but when you swap it, for some reason, it's adorable. I don't know why that is, but you know what? I feel like a little girl again.
Yes.
It's just... But anyway, on to what is... Honestly, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the main event.
It probably is, but you know something...
If they decided to put something over it, it'd be fine.
Yeah. All right, so the main event, of course, well, supposedly, is going to be the WWE title match between Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. A lot of people have not liked the build-up. I honestly think that, you know, they're doing something different here. They're doing something great. This is almost very, very close to almost being the exact same way. But do you remember years ago when they had the Muhammad Hassan character?
Yeah.
This is almost the same way as that because, of course, he's just saying, you know, everybody in America hates me and it's because I'm this and blah, 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 blah.
And the thing is...
And it's very well done.
Yeah, this time, the way he's doing it, it makes him feel like a heel because he's... It feels kind of baseless, and when he starts talking about it, he starts running down not the country itself necessarily, but the citizens of it. On top of that... You do have, you know, there's, you know, obviously contentious issues with, you know, immigration policy and all that, so it's got that just little undercurrent of reality to make it kind of uncomfortable, which works perfect for a heel. The problem with Muhammad Hassan was, his entire shtick was, you guys shouldn't hate me for my religion. You know, that's actually a fair point, dude. Why are you the bad guy? Oh, right. And then it got uncomfortable and awkward, and then Undertaker powerbombed him out of the company. So it's like, basically, this is the Muhammad Hassan gimmick well executed and well timed. That being said, I got to agree with what a lot of people have been saying, that I do think that this push has been a bit because of their, you know, their ties with India and Rinka King. So I do think Orton's going to retain.
Yeah.
I do think he's... And I will stand by that it's going to be a win. I don't think... Jinder Mahal, the way he's been acting, especially with him stealing the belt, if they had the whole, oh, Jinder gets himself disqualified. Fucking why? The dude stole the belt. That makes no sense. Yeah. Like, even now if it was accidental, like the Singh brothers ran in and, you know, they start stomping on Randy Orton after a ref bump and the ref gets up to see that. I mean, that's different. That would be, you know, confusion. Okay, he didn't mean to get caught. But if they were to pull, like, oh, he gets himself disqualified on purpose, no, that's what a heel who's already champion does. I'm saying Randy Orton's probably going to win. That's just me. Yeah,
I agree too. I think that, you know, they're going to continue having Randy Orton as a babyface, and maybe they'll continue this on to a match on SmackDown. That would be nice. One thing that I want to kind of bring up, because this is something that they've been kind of hinting at on SmackDown, and unfortunately the follow-up to this deal did not pay off this past week because he didn't show up. The whole deal with Rusev, where he is demanding a WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank, otherwise he leaves the company. Mm-hmm. Could this be the event where Rusev makes an appearance and possibly gets what he wants, and that's a WWE title match against the champion at Money in the Bank? Honestly, I think that this should be the event where they do that. You know, have Randy Orton beat Jinder Mahal, and maybe earlier on in the night, you know, Rusev comes in, talks to Shane and Daniel Bryan, says, you know, hey, I want my answer, and they say, you know what, we're about lane of opportunity, you got it. So he gets a title match. Honestly, this guy has an awesome resume, as is. You don't need him to just say, like, you know, go out there and earn every single time. He deserves it. Just give him the match. I know that's one of those things where it's like, no, he should. It's Rusev. Just give him the shot. Give him a chance to run with the ball. He would just make an amazing deal. After the match is over, Randy Orton RKO's, you know, Jinder Mahal 1, 2, 3. Out comes Rusev. Boom. Beats down Randy Orton. Locks in the accolade and, you know, almost basically cripples Randy Orton. Getting an amazing build-up to Money in the Bank between Rusev and Randy Orton. Make it that Rusev is this monster heel. This mad guy who wants, you know, he wants the title. That's the reason why he's doing this. Make that title worth something. Let us have Orton versus Rusev, and let it be one of those things where Rusev is basically just this guy who's just going to kill everybody in there. Oh my God, please. Please do it. Please, for the love of God, please, for the love of all that is high and mighty. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. But I know, this is just, you know, my inner fanboy just speaking out, and fangirl speaking out, where it's just like...
hey, sometimes you gotta let it out, man. Just, you gotta let that fandom scream a little bit.
But your thoughts?
To be honest, I think you put it pretty succinctly. I got to agree with you. I can't really see any other way.
It would really be a great way to end the event WWE Network special, whatever you want to call it.
I still go on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I mean, for crying out loud.